Hello, it's me, obviously. And have you ever tried to play Pokemon cards, but it always seemed overly complicated and took way too long to play? Well, I've been shopping for a little bit of a nostalgia hit where I've rejigged the format ever so slightly so it's easier to understand and much quicker to play. Check it out. So before we get into this, I'm going to very quickly give you the rundown on the project that was in my head, what I did, and what I was thinking, what it took to achieve this. So basically, by me, there's a shop, and it sells loads, we're talking thousands and thousands and thousands of Pokemon cards. Here's a quick video to show you how many Pokemon cards. So I literally went through every single Pokemon card in that shop. It took me about 4 hours. I did it over 2 days. Keep your comments to yourself. So basically, my mission was to find all the 1999 base set, jungle set, and fossil set Pokemon cards. Because I wanted to make some mini decks for myself and my children to play with, because I thought I could make some easy half-size decks which will be quicker games to play with and funner games to play with, and a nostalgia hit for myself because they are the 1999 original Pokemon cards. So I thought, great, this sounds like a good plan. So I spent a bunch of time in there finding every single one, and then once I had all those cards, I sorted them all out to see, right, what have I got? What kind of decks have I got? Because there were some Pokemon missing, like there wasn't every single one available. So I went, right, I've got enough of these fire Pokemon, I can make a fire deck, I can make a water deck, I can make a grass deck, I can make a fighting deck. So I used what I found and I made little decks. So in my head, I'm thinking making short decks, smaller decks, so it takes, in theory, half the time to play, and it's a smaller stack of cards for little ones to handle, because a 60 card deck for little ones, we're talking 6, 7, 8, 9-year-olds, they can't really shuffle very well with too many cards. So loads of factors why this is quicker and easier and just makes sense, especially if you're introducing new people to the game. It just makes sense. So I made little decks. I don't know what the balance is like, but basically I went, okay, 15 Pokemon, so I think 10 to 15 Pokemon kind of makes sense. There's 15 energy in each deck. I don't know if that's too many, but 10 to 15 energy I think is fine. And then I just put 5 trainers in, 5 different trainers, one of each. I thought about doing like 2 of each of the 5, but that was getting costly because the trainer cards cost 5 times as much as the normal Pokemon cards. They were £1. The trainer Pokemon cards were £1 and the Pokemon cards were 20p. So, it just, a number of different factors, but what it came down to is, let's make a roughly 30 card size deck, so it's half the size it needs to be. It's normally 60, and so it's smaller for young people to handle, and in theory the games are quicker. And so normally you would have a 6 prize game. Prizes are basically when you knock out your opponent's Pokemon, you have 6 cards isolated off the side. You take a prize card for knocking out your opponent's Pokemon, and once you've taken all your prize cards for knocking their Pokemon out, you win. So let's turn this into a 3 prize card game, so it's quicker. So enjoy the video, enjoy looking at the decks that I built from the selection of cards that I found. I hope it all kind of makes sense, and then enjoy me and my daughter playing a game. So basically here are the 2 big wads of cards that we got. So I'm just quickly spreading them out so you can kind of see. We de-sleeved them and I organized them, and you're about to see what I organized them to. So 2 Growlithe, 2 Arcanine, 2 Ponyta, 2 Rapidash, 3 Charmander, 2 Charmeleon, and 2 Magma to make up the numbers. And then there's 15 fire energies. Like I said, I think 15 fire energies might be too much. 15 energies might be too much generally. So, you know, I can take away some. It doesn't matter. Let's just try it. Then we got a potion, a super potion, a switch, a bill, and a gust of wind. And that's the same for all the decks. Just to keep it simple, you know. Right, so 2 Krabby, 2 Kingler, 2 Goldeen, 2 Sea King, 2 Horsey, 2 Seadra, and 2 Dratini, just to fill out the deck. There's nothing else I could find. 15 Water Energy, and the same 5 Trainers. Forgive me on... Is this the grass one? Let me just see what's coming up. Yeah, the grass one. 3 Caterpie, 2 Metapod, 2 Butterfree. Yep. What else have we got? 3... I can't see that. Execute, Executor... and then 2 Tangler, and they didn't have any grass energy from the base set, so it looks weird, but hey, there you go. So that's the grass deck, and the fighting deck was 3 Machop, 3 Machoke, 2 Graveler, Geodude, 2 Graveler, 1 Golem, and 2 Rhyhorn and 2 Rhydon. That's right, I got the sound app next to me. 15 energy, so I can't actually see what's on the screen. And 5 trainers. Again, sticking to the same. So I'm going to give you kind of like a basic overview on how this works. So basically, before you do anything, you need to decide who goes first. You can do that by flipping a coin, heads or tails. Whoever's not flipping gets to call it. If you call it, you can decide who goes first. If you go first, there are certain things you can't do. You can also use a die to do a heads or tails because it's easier than flipping for some people, like young children can't actually flip. So if it's an odd number, it is a tails, and if it's an even number, I think I'm about to show. So an odd number is a tails and an even number is a heads. So you can use the die to do a flip. It's exactly the same and it's perfectly legitimate and legal to do so if you're in a competition. So once you know who's going first, you need to shuffle. So give it a good shuffle. I cannot tell you, you cannot underestimate the power of a shuffle. It's really important you shuffle your deck as best you can, and you keep on shuffling it as often as you can. Your opponent is allowed to cut your deck, like so. So once you've shuffled, your opponent is allowed to cut your deck. They're even allowed to shuffle it again if they wish to. If they shuffle it, you're allowed to then cut it after them, but then that's it. It's just to try and avoid anyone trying to place cards or manipulate the cards in any way. So once you both have a shuffled deck, you need to deal 7 cards. And once you have your 7 cards, both players need to make sure they have a basic card. A basic Pokemon card. If you don't have a basic Pokemon card, you get what is called a mulligan. I don't have a basic Pokemon card, coincidentally. So that means my opponent will be able to draw 1 extra card when we get going. So sometimes people keep track of this by using a die to keep track of how many times their opponent has mulliganed, not had a basic Pokemon card. So you put them back, you give it a good old shuffle once again. So you have to have a basic Pokemon card to start with, otherwise you can't start. So again, you've really got to shuffle these cards. It's so important to shuffle as best you can. Let your opponent cut the deck if they wish. They might not want to, but it's good practice to cut the deck. And there you go. So there's the deck. That's where it sits. Draw 7 cards. Oh, hello Rupert, come to join us. 7 cards, and we're hoping for a basic Pokemon card now. And I don't know what I'm doing now. I've paused. Oh, I've told the dog to get out of the way, but then I've realised he's not really offending anyone. So we've got some basic Pokemon there, and you know it's basic because in the top left it tells you it's a basic Pokemon. It's the first stage of the evolution. hasn't evolved yet. So choose one. You have to choose one only, and it has to go in the active spot face down so your opponent can't see what you're starting with. And then you can choose up to 5 basic Pokemon to go on your bench. You don't have to, but most of the time you do, unless you've got some strategy going on. And then you keep your hand to one side while you take then the required amount of prize cards. Normally it's 6 in a normal game. In a 60 card deck it's 6, like so, but we're not going to play a 60 card deck. We're playing a 35 card deck, so we're going to have 3 prizes for the sake of having a quicker and easier game to play. So once you've put your prizes down, your deck goes as you can see there, and then you've got your hand. Shake hands with your opponent or fist bump to say good luck, and then all players turn over their Pokemon. I haven't set up my opponent in this case, but I will do in a moment just for an example. Anyway, so if you go first, you always draw a card on your turn. I think there's some good hand acting here. So we draw a card. We've got another basic Pokemon, so we bench it. So you can't attack on your first turn. You can't play a supporter card on your first turn. You can play a trainer card. In the modern game, it's supporters that you can't. You can't evolve a Pokemon on your first turn. You can't evolve a Pokemon on their first turn that they've been put down. You may attach 1 energy per turn, unless you have powers or trainer cards that tell you can do more. And then, is that it? Do I end my turn? So I've ended my turn. Let's imagine I've ended my turn, and now it's my second turn. My opponent has ended their turn, so I draw a card. So now, because it's my second turn, I can evolve, because the basic Pokemon has been down for at least 1 turn. And I can... I'm just going to check out this Pokemon's attacks here. So 1 energy for Smokescreen, 2 for Smog. So I think I'm going to show you that I attach a second energy. So 1 energy once again per turn. So now he's powered up. He's ready to do some damage. There's nothing else I can do here. So I, in theory, attack the opponent's invisible Pokemon. And because I've done that, I put damage counters. So I did 20. So I used a die that has the number 20 on it. You can use ordinary die, and the number 2 on an ordinary die would represent 20. Multiples of 10. So I've just quickly set up an opponent so I can demonstrate how you knock out and take prizes. So let's just imagine that my opponent is weak. I've already been doing damage to it. It's got 40 damage on it. I've got 40 damage on mine as well. And my opponent's card has 50 HP, so I need to do 50 damage. So I attack, and so it's total in 60, which exceeds the 50 HP, 50 hit points that this Machop has. So if you have to do greater than how much health it has, and once you do, you knock it out. You don't kill it. We don't kill Pokemon. We knock them out, and they go into the discard pile. And then, once you've knocked out your opponent's Pokemon, you may take 1 prize card, unless the Pokemon that you've knocked out stipulates a greater number. In terms of the modern game, EXs, you can take 2 prize cards. Anyway, so let's just fast forward the game. Let's just imagine that I've been fighting a little bit more. I'm going to attack. And this Machoke has suddenly got loads of energy. The Machoke is going to attack me. And it's going to knock me out because it's now done damage that exceeds the amount of health my Magma has. So my card, all of my cards attached to that Pokemon go to the discard, and my opponent gets a prize card. Hurrah! And that prize card goes into their hand. I'm playing the Invisible Woman. And you must then promote a Pokemon ready for your turn to start. Let's fast forward the game again. Let's imagine that we've been doing this, trading blows, so that we're on 1 prize card each. I've just knocked out my opponent's prize card. They have no Pokemon left, so I would win. I also took my last prize card, so that also means I win. And another way of losing is if you have no cards left in your deck. If you've had a really long game, So let's say this is my turn. I've taken my card, and now on my next turn, I go to draw a card and I can't. That means I lose. I lose. If I run out of cards to draw, I lose. And now for something a little different. You can see these decks put in action with me and my 7-year-old. I hope it all kind of makes sense. Enjoy. Okay, so this is going to be a game for 3 prizes. Good luck.
Good luck.
Heads or tails?
Heads.
It's tails. I decide who goes first.
Okay.
You will go first and I will go second.
Okay.
That means you can't attack on your first turn.
Oh.
I've shuffled the decks for us, so now we need to draw 7 cards and look for a basic Pokemon.
Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 7.
So you need to hope you have a basic Pokemon.
Oh,
And you need to place a basic Pokemon down in the active position. You don't have to place more Pokemon down, but most of the time you do.
Then
Once you've placed your basic Pokemon down, you need to place prizes. We're going to put 3 prizes down for this game. So you need to put 3 prizes down for this game. Great. Are you ready to begin?
yes.
Then we may start. Reveal all Pokemon.
Okay.
Pick up your hand and draw for your first turn.
Is it my go?
Yeah.
So
So you can attach 1 basic energy to any Pokemon.
okay.
Great. You may play any trainers, but no supporters on the first turn. Do you want me to help you?
Yeah.
If you put your Pokemon out like this, if we all do that actually.
Okay.
No, on the table.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because they're not in play yet. Okay.
Yeah.
Great. Now, there's nothing else that you can do because you're not allowed to evolve on the first turn that the Pokemon has been placed down.
No.
So you can't attack either, so you simply say end turn.
End turn.
So, I draw for my turn. I attach a basic energy. I do have this trainer, which is a bill. So I'm going to play it. 1, 2. This now is discarded. I now have more Pokemon to place on my bench. And I will attack Scratch, which is a colourless. That means it requires any type of energy. But this will require 1 fire and 1 of anything. Since I have 1 of anything, I will do 10 damage. As soon as I have attacked, my turn is over. It's your turn, so you draw 1 card for your turn.
Am I allowed to evolve?
You may now evolve. So now you have a choice. You can start to power up this Pokemon, or continue to power up this Pokemon. But realizing that he has got damage, and I am going to probably start damaging you some more. You do have a potion you could play, which will remove 2 damage counters. 2 equals 20.
Yes, so I'm going to put this here and then,
Sure.
then I'm going to play my potion.
So play it on him, remove the damage, discard the used card. What would you like to do next?
I can't attack, so
You do have 1 attack for 1 energy.
okay.
It says, flip a coin. If heads, the defending Pokemon can't attack Rhyhorn during your opponent's next turn.
Okay.
So you should do that.
Okay.
Now you can flip a coin or you can roll a dice. Up to you. Which way would you prefer? I would roll a dice if I were you,
Roll a
because
dice.
some young people aren't very good at flipping coins. You got a 6. Even numbers is a heads, so that means I'm not allowed to attack on my next turn. Sometimes some people use counters or something that represents some sort of effect on the Pokemon. So I'm going to pop that there to remind me that he's not able to attack. My turn. I draw a card for the turn. Great. The only way you can negate effects, take away effects, there are 2 ways to take away an effect of an attack. I can either evolve, and if I evolve, it will turn off the effect that you made.
Okay.
Or I can retreat by spending an energy to retreat. That will take away the effect that you did last turn. I can also use trainer cards like Switch to retreat for free. In this instance, I'm going to evolve, which means I am now allowed to attack because evolution turns off effects that have just occurred in the last round. However, I don't have enough energy. I also don't have... Oh, I do. So I'm going to attach 1 energy for my turn. Nothing else I can do. Your turn.
Okay. Daddy, you know you've got 1 thing there.
1 thingy what?
1 attack, I think that's an attack.
That needs 3 energies. I only
I
have
thought
2.
it was the very bottom.
No.
Okay.
Your turn. Draw for the turn.
Right. Put a basic Pokemon.
Absolutely.
Attaching everything.
Attach an energy, yes. Where are you going to attach it? Either continue to power up him, or start powering up him, or carry on powering up him.
I'll start powering up him.
Now, I'm just going to give you some advice.
Yeah.
You might as well start powering, get him 3 energy so he can actually do something if something happens to this card here.
Okay.
So,
I powered up him.
yeah. Okay. I'm a bit of a neat freak when it comes to how boards need to look. Sorry about that. What would you like to do? Now, think that I've got 2 energy on my Pokemon.
Okay.
It's likely I'm going to start attacking. You do have a trainer card called Gust of Wind. Pick it up. I believe it says, choose one of your opponent's benched Pokemon and switch it with his or her active Pokemon. So now you might be thinking, oh dear, he's going to start hurting me. Have I got a card that can force him away? Yes, you do.
Yes.
So I would play that if I were you. And which Pokemon would you like to swap him with?
I might swap him with
I'm going to pause you there. tip time. You might choose to swap it with a Pokemon that has got more than one colour, one energy to retreat. These all only need one energy to retreat because it hinders your opponent. Or you might choose to switch it with a Pokemon that needs lots of energy to do an attack because it will buy you some time. If you switched it with Charmander, he only needs one energy to attack. So it's better you think, which one's going to buy me some time? Which one has 2 HP, 2 energy to attack, or even low HP, like Ponyta only has 40 HP, Charmander has 50 and he has 70. So this guy is going to be easier to knock out.
Okay, I'm going to choose him.
Sure. It's still your turn.
Okay, then. What do I do now?
That needs to be discarded because you've used it. And you've played an energy for this turn. There's nothing else for you to do apart from attack.
So I've only got one energy, so I need to roll the dice again.
For Leah, you want a heads, and
6.
it is 6, which is a heads. That means I can't attack next turn.
I think you've got it the wrong way round.
Well, no. This is a burn counter for something else.
Okay.
That's another video. Okay. Great. Now, I'm going to attach an energy to my Charmeleon, and unfortunately for you, I have this card, Switch, which allows me to switch my Pokemon for free. Now I can either do 30 slash or 50, discard 1 fire energy card attached to Charmeleon. I'm just going to do slash in this case, so I don't lose my energy. Willow doesn't know, but I don't have any more cards. Did I draw a card?
No.
I think I did. Right, so I've attacked, it's your turn.
Okay. Draw a card. So then I'm gonna attach an energy.
Yeah,
Play this trainer, draw 2 cards.
great. 1, 2.
Oh, that was actually really good.
Now, you can evolve.
I'm gonna.
You don't have to.
So he
Okay,
gets drawn down.
great. What would you like to do next?
Am I allowed to put a basic Pokemon into my bench?
That's not a basic Pokemon.
Oh yeah. Okay. Does this evolve from him?
It does.
So I'll have to play it on my next turn.
Correct.
So I'm gonna attack you with the dice again.
Give it a good roll. Ah, right.
Even. Why do I keep on getting evens?
So that means I can't attack next turn.
Why do I keep on getting evens?
Draw card. Energy. I'm going to power up Ponyta. I can't attack. End turn, remove the effect.
Okay. Then add a basic Pokemon to my bench.
Yeah,
Evolve.
sure.
Then that's all I can
Mhm.
do. So I'm gonna play my attack.
Great.
5.
Tails. That means that attack didn't work. Draw for the turn. I think I'm going to knock you out. 50 add 30 equals 80, and he only has 70. So that means he's knocked out. But I also need to discard an energy in order to do that attack. So remove those and put them on the discard pile.
Then can I get another one out?
I take a prize card for knocking a Pokemon out, and you need to promote a new Pokemon.
I'm going to get my strongest one out.
Sure. That's right. Your turn. Draw card.
Attach an energy.
Great. What would you like to do?
I don't have any more cards, so I'm going to attack you.
Which attack? You've got Karate Chop, does 50 damage minus 10 damage for each damage counter on the choke. He hasn't got any damage, so he will do 50. Or you can do 60, but it will do 20 damage to you.
Oh. Would 50 do 20 damage?
No, 50 it would work, and that would be fine.
50 then.
So you're going to use Karate Chop, 50 damage on Charmeleon. He has 80 HP, so that is 80 take away 50, 30 left. My turn. I'm going to attach an energy. Oh. Super Potion. Discard one energy from one of your Pokemon and remove 4 damage counters. So 50 take away 40 is 10. Discard that. Nothing I can do. End turn.
This. Right. I'm going to evolve.
Yeah,
Then I'm going to attack you.
sure. Which one?
50 damage again.
Okay. So,
60.
let's chop, that's 60. Boom. Draw for my turn. Great. Attach an energy. I will do Flamethrower for 50. I must discard an energy.
I've got 80 health.
And we put 50 damage on you. Your turn.
Your prize card. And I'm gonna start powering up you. Because he's got enough.
Sure.
Then I am gonna do 50 damage to you,
Sure.
which knocks you out.
Correct.
So I take a prize card.
You do. My turn. Draw for the turn. Attach an energy. And I have 2 fire energy, Flame Tail for 30. 50 add 30 equals?
80.
Correct. So I knock you out.
I get rid of all of those.
Correct.
And I'm gonna choose this Pokemon.
I take a prize card and you promote a new Pokemon. That's my go. Your turn. Draw for the turn.
Oh yes.
It's a race against time now. What are you going to do? Yeah. Can you attack?
No.
Can you do anything else? No. So do you end turn?
Yeah.
I draw for my turn. Oh, fantastic. Going to evolve
I've caught both of those in my Pokemon game.
and then attach an energy for my turn. What shall I do? I'm going to use agility for 30.
That's good.
Flip a coin. If heads, during your opponent's next turn, prevent all effects of attack, including damage done to
I thought you would
Rapidash.
flip a coin, like an actual coin.
I got tails, so that didn't work. Your turn.
Me. Oh, so who's this one? Then energy.
What are you going to do?
There's nothing else I can do, so I can't attack you anyways. So it's your go. End turn.
Draw for the turn. Evolve. I'm going to do another agility for 30. So you are now on 60, and I'll flip a dice.
I thought a coin.
Coin or
Do a
roll
coin.
a dice.
Why can't you flip a coin?
You can do either, it doesn't matter. I'll do a coin then. Heads. So that means no damage will affect me next turn.
Okay. So you can take a prize card, attach an energy. Then I can't attack you.
You can't, unfortunately.
End turn.
Yes, I mean, I'm not very good at rolling dice. You should have made me roll the dice. I probably would have got a tails. Draw for the turn. Start attaching energy. And unfortunately for you, since you're on 60, I will do agility for another 30, which knocks your golem out. And I take the last prize card, which means I win that game.
It's because I literally only had one card in my deck every time.
And that's basically how you play.